So, ka IP camera. Ka IP camera ka.
People are just fighting here. I don't know what's happening. It's been like 12 hours without electricity. Look at these guys in the car. It's been like 12 hours without electricity. In the guest house there is no water. It's like I cannot even shave. It's crazy. It's been like they charge like $25-$30 here. At the end, he said that I am not guilty of the charge of criminal nuisance. The charge against him are hereby dismissed, and he is to be released from custody. There was one good guy struggle. This person, I asked him, I begged him if he can give me some sweater or something warm, and he actually really arranged it for us, for all the prisoners. It was so amazing. Like, I cannot thank him enough. Like, it improved the quality of life by 1000%. Like, and actually to see that there is someone who is human, it was really, I was about to cry. But and on top of it, it's nothing very difficult, right? Like, that's actually just ensuring the rights. Like, this is their job. Anyways, we went to the court. The judge, those are the 6 papers I have. The judge read about 20 papers I was trying to count. It must have been like definitely 20 to 30 minutes. I was totally exhausted. I couldn't even sit. Like, I just needed to collapse. Anyways, at the end, he said that I am not guilty of the charge of criminal nuisance. The charge against him are hereby dismissed, and he is to be released from custody. He is to be released from custody. The accused is hereby acquitted of all the charges. I was like, oh my God, I cannot even believe this is true. Like, I felt like in heaven. I was like, this is finally after 3 weeks, after 21 days sleeping on the cold concrete in the prison, this is going to be the end. Finally, the justice comes. I could not be more wrong. I told the lawyer came to me, and again, the same as the day before, he told me that the ambassadors are actually waiting in front of the prison already to take me out, and so on. I was like, I knew I cannot believe it, right? Like, every single thing was just a lie up to now. So I had to go to the prison where I was just supposed to pick up the things. But no, they took me into the cell again. Here is where it comes, where it shows the humanity and how great many Zimbabwean people are. No, you have to be distinguishing between the system and the people, right? So I just told my friend, I'm not gonna mention his name, but he was like one of my best friends in the prison. All of the prisoners were my friends. They were really cool. And he told, I just didn't, like, I came inside and I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just told him, look, I think in the previous videos I was calling him Paul. Paul, I was acquitted. The judge said I was supposed to be released from the custody. I also have the bail. And look at me. Look where I am again. Still in the prison. I was asking them, please, guys, could you be quiet today because I have an enormous headache from the dehydration. The cell was also like acoustically very bad. Like every word you say, it just amplified it, so it was really really loud. And everybody just became quiet, and everybody was respecting. Then the guards actually came, laughing at me, speaking in Shona, that the reason why I'm in the jail is that I didn't accept. I didn't say I'm guilty. They told me, or they told to the prisoners, that all the court on Thursday was just a theater. It was just staged. That they agreed on something, and I was supposed to plead guilty, pay the fine, and go. And now they are punishing me for not lying. Like, I'm sorry, what? Anyways, I was so glad that everybody was quiet and I could sleep that day. I lied down and I tried to take a nap. It was like 7 p.m. And suddenly the cellmates called my name. Lucas, wake up! And suddenly they were giving me bread, peanut butter, Coca-Cola from somewhere. An orange flew to me. Like they made me a feast. Like they made me a really, like, I felt like in a restaurant with many friends. They were like really taking care of me. It was so beautiful. I was thanking them so much. And then I slept, and in the morning it started. Everybody was rushing, and like we get out and they called me, and then suddenly everything was different. Like if you're in a prison at this situation, when you know everything is like, when there is something different from the normal, it just makes you worry because you don't know what's gonna come. They called me in to the room, and my friend, this Paul, was telling me, you're going home. I was like, I don't believe that even anymore. However, they gave me my things back. So it seemed like it's really true that I'm going out. Unfortunately, this was the same thing. I was telling you, there were foreigners, there were like 20 foreigners. They were doing this to them every day. Like they had, after the court, they already were acquitted. They were supposed to be just going out of the country, but they called them. They made them this false hope, and then they just told them, no, not today, tomorrow, and then they were sent back to the cell. I thought it's gonna be the same. However, we went outside. Like first, they wanted to give me. They were asking me about my address. I was like, why do you need my address in my home country? They were like, oh, we don't care about it, we don't need it, but you have to tell us. Like what? Like you want to come and get me after or something? You don't need my address. They were asking me if I have any complaints about the prison. I was telling them yes. So he told to the colleague, right now. I was there with my friend, and also the lawyer came. We just agreed on something. They told me I have the flight. I was like, oh my God. I went outside and I saw the ambassadors. And I was really so happy. I thought like, okay, it seems it's going somewhere. And I thought it's over. But the ambassador told me it's not yet over. I was shocked. How is it not over? Like I got acquitted, everything. The ambassador was there with the car and his driver, but I was not allowed to go with them. I was supposed to go with an immigration officer. Why? Why do I need to go with an immigration officer? I'm free. I am not guilty. I am acquitted of everything, and so on. I have a valid visa. What is this? What is going on again? We came to the police station, where was this lady, the third witness. this liar, this Simbiso Shumba. She was there in the office. We went to pick up my phone, my laptop, everything. Guys, I'm telling you, it was really crazy. She just told us, we have a problem. This person, all of his things are in some kind of safe. It's locked. It's everything is secure and so on. But the person who has the key is away for the weekend. He's coming on Monday. It was Saturday. I was like, what? The ambassador was telling me, okay, let's go without it. I was just asking him, like, please, let's try, like, we still have time. Let's try to tell them something. He just said one sentence. He said, we were told that today we are going. She was like, okay, whatever. I didn't succeed. Let's go. We went to the corridor, like 3 rooms farther. There was a room with open doors, and all of my things were there. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that she just lied like this? Like, why? Why does she constantly need to lie? Like, this is already a lost case. What are you going to do with my phone? What are you going to do with my computer and everything? You obviously could not get into the computer. You could not hack into the computer. Unfortunately, I checked it, and up to now, after it's been 3 months, up to now, there are some failed attempts to hack into my account. Why? So I got all my things, not all, of course, like one thing was there, another thing was there. So I lost a couple of things, but they were just minor things, like my SIM card and so on, but whatever. We drove back to Harare. I was already like, okay, I got my phone, and before we were going, it still took like, I don't know, we were there forever at the police station, because this lady, she took a book. She took a really long book where there was written everything with all of my belongings, and she took us outside of the building. She took us to the other building, up, down, this office, that office. Like, again, after like so long, like, I don't know, like, why? We went back to the first office. She gave me the book and she asked me to sign it. Why did we do all this tour around the police station? Like, what is the point? I couldn't understand what is going on. I found out immediately. Like, after we left, the ambassadors were right behind me. They were just checking my bag. I was driving with the person from the immigration. He was very nervous. He was driving very slow because they're winning time, and I was just like, oh my god. In about middle of the journey from Masvingo to Harare, he got a phone call. He was always getting phone calls, and he just looked at it, and then he smashed the phone. He was like, oh my god, no, he didn't want to talk to anybody. Finally, he talked to one person, and that person told him something, and he was like, what? They are gonna say we are just harassing him. Find something proper. And then he smashed the phone again. Like, okay, I was just like, let's hope this is either a trick or it's just another case. I was scared to death. I was watching my phone. I was looking at the map. We were approaching the airport. We were like 10 minutes from the airport. I was like, oh my god, yes, so close. But we took another turn, and we were arriving to the headquarters of immigration. I was like, why are we here? First of all, why am I even being deported? As a person who clearly did not do anything, there is international laws, there is Zimbabwe laws. You cannot deport a person without a reason to deport, right? You cannot just do whatever you want. So there are rules. It's not that the citizens have to obey the rules. It's that everybody has to obey the rules, right? That's why they are there. They exist. So we came to this to the building. I had no idea what to expect. It was again all the time the same stories. Like they took us there and back, and then they invited us to some room where there was a mess. They were like, "We are a poor country. We apologize for that." Like sorry, I don't care about these statements. I've heard it so many times, and they told me that I still cannot believe it. Remember, this was a couple of hours before the flight. They told me that they have nothing, they have no problem with me. They want to help me. But I'm an illegal immigrant. I was like, what? Check my passport. In the passport, there is the stamp. He just refused to open the passport and check that there is a stamp that I crossed the borders. He just said, a court has to verify that. What court has to verify? Like, you cannot put another accusation on me that I'm an illegal immigrant, where you have no evidence. You have the passport, you have the clear evidence that I entered Zimbabwe correctly. They were saying like, yeah, he entered from the borders, and then he put the, you always have to put the place where you're going to stay. And so I put the one in Bulawayo, because there is the one line where you put the first place where you arrive and where you're going to stay. And they were saying like, we don't know how we appeared in Masvingo. No, it's just there. I was like, oh my God, they are never gonna give up. What is wrong? You see that I did nothing. You cannot be just building cases and cases and cases. Like, this is already a nonsense. It has cost so much money of Zimbabwe, which could have been used on a good cases, on good things, like helping people, like making the country good, not on just this nonsense. And I was just imagining people who are Zimbabweans, if they got into this, the same like me, without anything, you just cannot get out of the system. You are just, whenever somebody point at you and they decide, then you become a criminal, and you cannot. So please, when you're listening to these stories, think about the people. Think about the people, how many innocent people have been turned into criminals like this. And lucky me, I can go back, but they have nowhere else to go back. They just became criminals, and they are just going back. They are gonna go back and forth into prison, from a prison, once they have a record. That's unfortunately the situation and the case of many people I saw in the prison. Anyways, at the headquarters of the immigration, they told me I have to sign that I admit that I'm an illegal immigrant. It's like, I'm not gonna sign that. Like, I cannot sign, and then they will use it as an evidence that I signed it, right? And it would even be my signature. However, there was nothing to do, so we accepted. It was a couple of hours before the flight, right? So we went to the another office. They took my fingerprints and so on, and they made me sign something. I have the paper also. I'll show you, but I suppose this is that I cannot enter Zimbabwe again. Like, why do you need to make such a theater? I don't want to go to Zimbabwe again. If this is happening, yes, I want to enjoy Zimbabwe. I want to meet Zimbabwean people, but I want to be in a safe country as well, right? So finally, everything was done and we were supposed to leave. We went outside to the car park and we were waiting for the people. 3 people escorted me to the airport. I was like, why? why? I asked them, can I open the window? It was really hot in the car. They were like, yeah, you are a free man. I was like, free man? Like, you're not giving me my passport, nothing. Like, this is definitely not what it's supposed to be. Actually, before we left, the ambassador just got the idea, like, hey, do you have his passport? And they were like, we forgot it. Okay, did you forget it? Or was it already planned that we're gonna arrive to the airport and then you're gonna say, oh, we forgot the passport and I missed the flight? Why do you even want me to stay in the country? Or I don't know, I just don't understand. We went to the airport. We went to the check-in. They just gave me the passport. They also told me before going to the airport that Zimbabwe does not allow, like, when they are deporting someone, they have to tell the airline 3 days before, and that, but they are nice to me, and they are going to give some paper to the ambassador that he is escorting me. Like, what all this nonsense? Why are we making these stories? Like, nobody even wanted this kind of paper they gave him. The airline doesn't even know. There is even no rule, no law, no nothing about reporting deportation 3 days ago to the airline. Like, they don't even have anything to do with that. I was really, we went through the security, and then we went to the passport check, and finally it took about like 20 minutes. They were checking, writing something, like, I don't know, I was totally exhausted already. I just saw like there was a huge board, like, commercial, thank you for visiting Zimbabwe, welcome again. I was like, this was the last dot. I was like, I started laughing. All this just because somebody wants to lie, just because of some summit, just because they want to threaten people, just that I don't know. What is your opinion about the case? What is your opinion about having a system where the police can just detain someone without accusation, when they can just lie and everything goes smooth? Anyways, my life was starting going back into normality. I went to the toilet. I spent like 10 minutes washing my hands. Like, for 10 minutes, the dirt was coming out. Water was black. I went to we went to eat something. It was finally amazing to get some water. And the flight was delayed, so we had some time at the airport, and I was always like so tense, and I was not feeling well. And finally we took off. We went from Zimbabwe to Lusaka, Zambia. There was like a stopover. Some people get out and in, and we flew to Dubai. And I was just so scared. I was like, but then when I arrived to Dubai, it was amazing. I was like, yeah, at the plane, the lady next to me, when she saw that how I feel, I didn't tell anything to anybody. I just took a bite of something and I rushed to the toilet. I had a terrible diarrhea. I was sick. All the flight attendants, they were worrying about me. They were taking care of me. It was so amazing. I was like, anytime somebody was nice, I was feeling like, oh my God, this is amazing. And there were things like nothing. Like in Dubai, unfortunately, my flight was delayed. I got a voucher transfer to the hotel. I just went there. I went to sleep. And I went to the swimming pool. To the freedom. This was 3 weeks in a hell. Please, let's hope everything ends well. And just got a beer, and things was getting, the life was getting back into normal. I got food. However, when I arrived home the next day, I decided to go directly to the hospital. They checked me. I was having a huge headache. I was really, really weak. They gave me some infusions, some minerals, vitamins. I don't really know what was it. Something against infections and so on. They took me like 3 hours. I was there at least 3 hours being checked through every single thing. They even found a doctor who has been living in Botswana and Zimbabwe on the borders. It was so amazing. Like, she knew all of the different diseases, all of the different infections. I felt like in heaven, and I was released home. A week later, I ended up in the hospital again. My organism was totally weak. I was getting extreme pain in the legs, and I was getting like high fever, like 30, 38, 39. I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even stand. My organism was just totally exhausted. I spent a week in the hospital, and now it's going all back. So, however, all my life is just upside down. Like, all of my income, all of my life, all of my traveling. I'm scared to travel now. Everything is just not as it should be. And why? Why? Because somebody just needs a story. My last word again. I have nothing against the people from Zimbabwe. But stories like this are not unique. There are Zimbabweans who are in jails. There are Zimbabweans who don't know how to get the lawyer, how to orientate themselves in the law. They are just victims of the system. I think this is really sad. The country is really beautiful. The people are really great. So let's just make it great for them. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the videos. I hope you learned something about the situation, and I hope you will always be thinking and trying to help. And let's see, I will try to continue with the videos, and I hope you will enjoy it. Thank you so much.